Hello, it's Maria Peth here. And I just thought I'd jump on and talk a little bit about passion today because I actually am doing a podcast these days, Angelic University podcast with Maria Peth on Spotify. And you can listen every week on Wednesday. I have a new episode. And this week's episode, yesterday's episode, was about passion. And so I wanted to talk a little bit here this evening about passion. And my biggest awareness of passion is that it is a soul-driven truth, that our passion is born with us, that we are aware of passion sometimes as a real small child when we're dreaming and we're imagining the most magnificent truth about ourselves and how we save the world, or how we bring beautiful music to this world, or we create something, or we save others, we heal, we expand, we teach, we grow, we learn, we share, we believe, we're worthy. As a child, we have these awarenesses. And that is, I believe, when our passion is most clear in terms of the drive, a passionate drive. As we age, we begin to shadow a bit of our passions because maybe somebody said to you, you can't do that, or that's not possible, or I can never see you doing that. And who knows, maybe they don't have the vision. They're not you, so they cannot feel the way that you do. And we unwittingly listen to those naysayers, and then they begin to dim our light. And I believe that we have too much of that going on these days. So, as a parent, I tried not to dim my children's dreams or light ever. And when I see that they're passionately pursuing something, I encourage it. And that is the same way that we need to treat ourselves. It's like, be a parent to ourselves, be that nurturing, supportive life coach to yourself, be as open as you can be, and really listen to your own soul, your own heart, because your soul needs the voice. Your soul is the voice of your truth. The soul is the why you came to be in this universe. And so for me, what's the promise that you made before you arrived on earth, that you said that you would do or be or experience? What's the promise you made to yourself? Because you incarnated with a promise, and that soul promise is still alive and is still thriving. I have taken my life journey into many directions, but this current direction that feels so passionately right is that of being an angel reader. And when I wrote about my story in Angel Decoding, I did write that book with that story, in there, about how I always had been aware that angels were available to me, that I got angel messages, that I received information, there was this communication going on, and I didn't always listen or pay attention until I became more aware that this was a real thing. This was a real drive. This was a real soul awareness that was happening. And it took a bit of time, but our passions and our drives don't leave us unless we shut them out purposefully. They do resurrect themselves. They do come back. They do show their face, and it's not too late. Even if you're, 60, 80, it's not too late to really invite this exciting space of passion and truth and soul. And one of the ways that you can do that is to journal a bit, journal a little bit about, what you dream of doing, being, experiencing. And it doesn't have to be about doing, it can be about being. I dream of being peaceful. I dream of being, a supporter to others, in service of others. I dream of everyone loving each other. I dream of nurturing and encouraging myself and others to have a purposeful, joyful life. And these are dreams that I have. And what's your dream? Sometimes you find yourself, playing around with a hobby that you wish was more full time. The hobby could be that you're dancing or you're singing or you're artistically expressing or you're an inventor or maybe you're negotiating truths in your mind or you're, this quiet politician or you have found that within you is a form of, an artist to draw or to express in some way, that we haven't seen yet, to create new technologies. There's so many ways that we can, hone that passion and bring that out. And sometimes it's in a hobby. So you start there. Sometimes it's in actual work and you find a piece of work that is really inspirational to you and really seems to be coming, regularly that supports your alignment with yourself, that helps you to feel aligned and positive and right and good and as if you're on purpose. But I want to remind you, like, go back. What is the promise you made to yourself? And like, I don't know, Maria, I made a promise to myself when I was a soul and I was talking to God about coming here and I don't remember what that was. And that's true. You may not remember, but an essence of it does live in you. An essence of it does keep nagging you. And quite often we are not satisfied until we fulfill our passion, until we fulfill that promise that we made. And the promise can be simple. It can be a promise of, being an excellent parent and nurturing another soul. It can be a promise that you would save animals. It can be a promise that you made to create, bliss in the world. It could have been a promise that said, I will teach others to be kind. It doesn't matter what that promise was, but what's important is that you spend some time. Sometimes it's quiet time, sometimes it's journaling time or reflective time in reawakening that awareness. And we talk a lot about, ascension and what does that mean? Ascending to our higher self, to awaken to our higher self, to be, conscious. And truly being conscious is being aware of who you are. You're an amazing human being that was, decided to incarnate at this time to support the world. And what part of magic can you bring to the world? What kind of specialness can you bring to the world? And each of us have a specialness, a gift, a magnificence that we promised we would share. And sometimes the magnificence is a quiet, loving spirit. Sometimes it's big and bold and it sings and it announces. And sometimes it is simply being a support for another. But there is a magnificence in you. There is a passion in you. And we have the responsibility as souls and as people to bring that forward. Um, I want to encourage you to align with the dream then, like when you are feeling, driven to apply the dream. And I would look at what I've done with my life and applying this work of communicating with angels to the next level to help other people, to be a soul coach, to, write books or to blog or to podcast or to YouTube, to teach, this inspiration to others. And one little step at a time is how we start. I started with working on myself, with clearing, myself and getting really to a place where I felt good about who I was, and so we have to work on that, and then it's easier to take care of others, and it's easier to inspire and support others. So we need to work on nurturing that inner child, the child that maybe neglected her or himself, the child that felt that they weren't worthy enough, the child that never took action because they weren't encouraged to. Well, be that child encourager now. talk to yourself and let yourself remember that you were born in the image of God, and that presence does deserve to be heralded in this world. So I want to encourage you to listen to my podcast this week, and it is on Spotify. And you can find Angelic You with Maria Peth on Spotify, and there's many others. I post one every week. I guess I'll post a new episode every week. So I encourage you to subscribe and maybe rate and review. I don't know if I've got that yet. I'm trying to figure out, how to get my podcast out a little more into the mainstream. Also, I encourage you to subscribe to this Angelic Maria here, Maria Peth, YouTube, so that you can know when I go live and also when I post. And then on my website, which is Maria Peth, that's MariaPeth.com, you can find my next events, where I'm going to be doing an angel retreat in April here in the beautiful, quiet Midwestern area of Iowa. And then I have some other destination retreats that I'll be announcing very soon. Also, regularly, I do angel readings in this very office for people, as well as some more intimate classes. And Angelic You has a regular every month class that I do and post on Angelic You and Facebook, and also can deliver to you personally if you're not on Facebook. Anyways, I encourage you to, subscribe to some of the ways that you can learn with me. I am a spiritual teacher. That is one of my passions. And I like to inspire others because I believe that each of us is magnificent in our own way and deserving of the encouragement if you haven't found that elsewhere. And even if you have, still check in and see what else I can inspire you with. So listen to your soul, the core of who you are, and come into the various forms of magnificence that is you. Take one little step that says, I will take this class, I will read this book, I will mentor with this person, I will try this. And that little step can lead you to the next, to the next, to the next. And before you know it, you're living your passion. I thank you for listening. I appreciate this opportunity to come to you live. I think I know how to end this stream. Listen again, and thank you so much. God bless you. Keep you safe. I love you all. Bye-bye.